The New York Knicks might be going all in to acquire Devin Booker this offseason, and we have to talk about it. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because apparently, according to new reports, the New York Knicks are reportedly willing to offer almost everything to pair Devin Booker with Jalen Brunson. And the quote from Gerald Borgett, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, Gerald. He and Jalen Brunson would form an electrifying, high-scoring backcourt for one of the NBA's most pleasant surprises, and according to a source, New York would be willing to offer almost anything to make that pairing happen. Now, we saw the other day that Stephen A. Smith talked about Devin Booker, so let's take a look at what Stephen A. had to say when he said Booker wants to be in New York. That's what I'm being told. Now, he might deny it. I haven't spoken to him. I'm just telling you the scuttlebutt in the NBA circles is that brother wants to be in New York. So if you're Phoenix, you've got at least two people, probably three, who are going to be paid about $150 million combined who don't want to be there. Now, we know the Phoenix Suns are in shambles right now after getting swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we also know that the New York Knicks should be in the second round right now, but just a series of unfortunate events turned out last night. Obviously, that was terrible. Dario made a whole video on it. Go watch that if you want to hear about that. But look, the New York Knicks now should be looking at the Indiana Pacers and Milwaukee Bucks as their next round matchup, but instead, they do have to wait on this. And in time, because I thought I'd be making a video on Devin Booker in some dead space between the Knicks' first and second rounds, but now it's coming out that the Knicks already want Devin Booker. They're already looking at him. And here's kind of where my head's at. How often does something that Leon Rose actually wants gets out? Like, obviously, it was clear they wanted Jalen Brunson. Outside of that, we haven't seen them absolutely do something until right before it's going to happen. We knew they were going to get Brunson. We were all basically positive they were going to end up with Donte DiVincenzo in the offseason. Everything else has been sort of out of left field. Now, the first we're hearing about Devin Booker is soon before the offseason, like Jalen Brunson and like Donte DiVincenzo. So, hey, maybe there's news about that. Maybe because there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know. But also last summer, we had a debacle about potentially, I don't know, literally every player, whether it was Paul George or Damian Lillard again or whatever it was. Like, I mean, we heard Dame wants to play with Brunson. We heard Paul George wants to go to the Knicks. We've heard this time and time again, and it's never really been true. So you have to look at it and think, okay, take this with a grain of salt, but at the same time, there's reasons to believe the New York Knicks could actually be trying to do this. Now, I mean, if you take a look here, the Knicks obviously have lost Julius Randall from the CAA family. CAA runs the New York Knicks because Leon Rose is basically the boss. And after Randall left, it did feel like maybe his job security would be, or his security on the New York Knicks would be a little lower, because Randall went off to join one of their biggest rivals in WME Endeavor, which is basically probably the biggest agency on the planet, especially just when it comes to celebrities outside of sports. So all that in mind, maybe they're looking to trade Randall now that he's not part of CAA anymore. And I'm not saying they're putting Randall on the trade block, but maybe they're now open to moving Julius Randall instead of, I don't know, just keeping him around and seeing him as the second star. Maybe they're like, all right, let's bring someone from CAA in. Where do you think Devin Booker signed with? He signed with CAA. I did a video on this yesterday. Or 2 days ago. I don't know. I can't count my days. But look, I did a video on this and talked about how Leon Rose used to be Devin Booker's agent, and Devin Booker said that Leon Rose is going to be great for the Knicks. It also came out that the Knicks would have loved to acquire Devin Booker soon after Leon Rose got the job. Now, that was 4 years ago. That has not happened. Maybe now it happens. Maybe now, because the Phoenix Suns have exhausted all their options. They traded their picks to the Nets for Kevin Durant. That team has not worked out. Bradley Beal's been a nightmare. They're thrown into cap hell right now. The Suns are not in the greatest spot. And look, as I mentioned, Booker is signed with CAA. And also, this guy does not believe that it's the right move, but I mainly just took this tweet to show that he's part of CAA in a response to what Stephen A. Smith had to say. But look, think that the Knicks could go out there and could trade for Devin Booker in a package that looks something like this, where they acquire Booker in exchange for Julius Randall and Bojan Bogdanovic, whose contracts happen to align perfectly with Devin Booker's, along with 4 first-rounders, probably one of them being a pick swap, maybe 2 of them, as I put, not owned by the Knicks, 1 an unprotected Knicks pick. I don't really know. I don't know what the draft pick part of this package would be, but it's very evident that those would be the 2 players traded this summer for Devin Booker. Now, I assume Phoenix would try to flip Randall and Bogdanovic for draft assets, and they'd probably do the same thing with Kevin Durant and just let Bradley Beal, basically just eat Bradley Beal's contract since the man has no trade value at this point. So if the Suns decide we want to blow it up, it would make sense to do a trade like this. As I've said before, with every trade package, the Knicks can offer the best one. Outside of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Knicks have the best trade packages. The Nets have decent ones also because they have some draft picks that aren't their own. But outside of really just the Thunder, the Knicks can offer the best trade packages. Because, I mean, especially if you can give a guy like Julius Randall, who you can flip for more assets to another team that may want him, it solves a lot of problems if you're the Phoenix Suns, if you want to start over. Now, the Knicks, if they trade for Booker, they're going to be a small ball lineup. They're going to start Jalen Brunson, Devin Booker, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and probably Isaiah Hartenstein, but you never know. It could also still be Mitch. With Dante DiVincenzo back as the 6th man, the role that he was initially supposed to play after the Knicks traded Emmanuel Quickley away, which was always the plan throughout this season, it feels like. So, yeah, maybe they'll go and do that, and the team will be better, because, look, Dante DiVincenzo's not hitting his shots in the playoffs. You have Devin Booker on this team. Knicks win in 4 against the 76ers, who are the 3rd best team in the East. Knicks can contend with the Celtics because they have 2 arguably better players than Jason Tatum then. I'm just saying. I think the Knicks would be better with Devin Booker. I love Julius Randall and want Julius to stay on the Knicks, and I want him to win a ring with the New York Knicks just to rub it in all the people who hate Julius Randall, who claim to be Knicks fans' faces. But at the same time, Devin Booker is better than Julius Randall. I understand the fit's a little wonky because it creates small ball. It's not a good defending backcourt. That's 2 guys who want the ball in their hands. But now Brunson has the ball in his hands too much. The way we're looking at this right now, Brunson can't be holding the ball this much. He's going to fatigue at some point. I'm already kind of worrying about it with this playoff series. So the Knicks do have to be very careful. But also, Devin Booker reportedly wants to spend his career with one team, as our friend Gerald already said when talking about just Devin Booker and the Knicks in general. He said, there may come a day when Devin Booker is convinced he can no longer win with the Suns and decides to pursue titles elsewhere, but that day isn't here yet. According to a source within Booker's camp, as a student of the game and its history, Booker understands the value of sticking with one franchise for his entire career, following in the footsteps like his idol, Kobe Bryant. So yeah, I mentioned this already. Booker said he saw Steve Nash jerseys in Phoenix when he first got drafted there, and he wanted that to be him in 20 years. So I don't think this is going to happen. It could. If Booker requests a trade, I'd say bet on him to go to the Knicks. The money works out. It's a good trade package. But I don't think Devin Booker's getting traded just yet. But at the end of the day, if he does request a trade, bet on him to go to the Knicks. That's really where I'm going with this. Guys, leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm so bummed from this loss yesterday. It's almost as bad as my allergies that are absolutely kicking my butt right now. So I'm going to go take some Zyrtec or something. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Go Knicks. Knicks in 6. 76ers still suck. Rocky still sucks. I'd knock him out. Francis Ngannou would knock him out, and he got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. Don't matter. Knicks in 6. Embiid sucks. Maxey sucks. This is a lie. Tobias sucks. That's not a lie. Philadelphia cheesesteaks are garbage.